Bienvenidos nuevamente a su podcast La Plática. En esta ocasión tenemos un tema de mucha importancia para la comunidad, especialmente para la comunidad de negocios. Pero antes de dar paso a nuestro tema, damos paso a nuestros patrocinadores. Gracias a nuestros patrocinadores, Liga de Justicia, en caso de lesiones laborales, accidentes de bicicleta, resbalón y caída, por favor llame al 1-800-355-1234. Liga de Justicia, tus abogados. As I mentioned in our introduction, we have a very special guest today with a very special topic, a topic that will basically has a positive impact on the business community on Long Island. So before I go into the topic, I would like to welcome Kim Jean Pierre.
Thank you for having me, Luis Montez.
Thank you, Kim, and welcome to La Plática podcast. So I know that you've been working on the last couple of months intensely on a very important event that is happening on October 30th, right here on Long Island in the Huntington Hilton. And then tell us a little bit about what the event is first, and then we'll get into who Kim Jean Pierre is.
Well, thank you for having me, and happy belated birthday. Happy 18th birthday.
That's right.
And it is a pleasure to be here and to talk about this conference. It's October 30th, like you mentioned, at 8 a.m. to 3. It's going to be at the Huntington Hilton, and we've partnered with the Nassau Suffolk Building Trades and the Long Island Federation of Labor. And JFT Consulting. And we pretty much came up with this idea to be able to help the smaller business community and to build relationships between local subs, smaller subs, and our union partners. And to kind of talk about some of, one, the stigmas between working together, and two, building that bridge, building that foundation, and introducing smaller companies to companies like Hoagland, a bigger company. Like if you have a smaller company, your aspiration is to be like a Hoagland, right? And how do you connect with a company like Hoagland that has those contracts, right? And they look to the same way to build those relationships with smaller subs as they have these contracts.
Yeah, certainly one of the challenges, right, that small subcontractors have is like, how do you bridge that gap between basically just the let's say, going for that big contract and the big contractor, right? So I think that that's certainly something that an effort that is worth trying, right? It's like I think the part of the issue there is like, how do you make it happen? And I think that that's basically where KJP Strategies is coming in, a partnership with Hoagland, with the Nassau Suffolk Building Trades, Long Island Federation of Labor, as well as SPG, as well as NJF, right? So it's like and partnering with a lot of the ethnic chambers of commerce too.
Correct. So. And some of them who also try to build like the Long Island Hispanic Chambers, the African American Chamber of Commerce, trying to build those bridges for the smaller community, to work with larger corporations, larger organizations, as well as our union partners. And not only so are we, it's an opportunity for these subs to be able to table and exhibit their companies and show the skill sets that they have to offer, but also an opportunity we have 2 sessions, a total of 8 workshops, to talk about some of these issues that we just mentioned, right? Building relationships. And one of the workshops that kind of like was the foundation and the root of this workshop is the MWB's workshop. And it's just kind of talk about some of the challenges that folks have as MWBE certified companies, or how to become a MWBE certified company. What type of paperwork do you need? What type of funding opportunities are out there for you? So I'm really excited about this collaboration. It's free, open to the public. All you have to do is register, and I'm sure you're going to provide that link at the end. Yes. And the flyer. Come. It's October 30th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. An opportunity for you to build your business.
One of the most interesting workshops or topics that are going to be discussed is basically how does an MB or MWB or a minority company can become a union shop.
Correct. So, and that's the bridge that we're building, right? And so, the misconceptions of unions, of becoming a union shop. And this is the opportunity for you to learn from a company that is a union shop, and as well as our union partners. What do you need to do? It's more simplicity than what we think it is, right? And so that's an opportunity for you. And when you talk about union shops and you talk about all these projects that are being developed not beyond Long Island, on Long Island, in the city, and looking for unionized workforce. And this is an opportunity for people that look like you and I to be able to be on these projects, right? There are billions of dollars in infrastructure money, and that can be shared with someone that is a plumber, to professional services. It doesn't have to be in the construction industry. It can be professional services. And how do you build that?
Right. So I think a part of the important, I guess, demystifying this MWE program and any contracting for that matter, is that everything has to do with construction, right? And I think that that's part of the reason why people are like, oh, I don't need a certification because how am I going to benefit from it? But certainly that's something that is not the case.
Correct. You have professional services, you have photography, you have someone that is an event planner. Those are folks, and we've seen them. We and I have worked together and certified some of these companies, and it's amazing to see how they flourish now.
Yeah, I think that part of the challenge is getting some companies, right, to expand the understanding of the MWE program, because many of the companies see the MWE hiring goals as an imposition, right, rather than as and that's part of the reason. I think Hogland is unique in this respect, right? In that respect, that is that they've been able to understand that this is basically a way for them to expand their hiring pool, as well as get creative with the program in that sense. So I think that's a unique case on Long Island that is worth studying, and not even that, replicating.
Correct.
Which is, I think, is the goal here, right?
And that's why we really want to applaud and salute Rosalie and Billy for some of being a major sponsor at our conference, but understanding that how do we work and how do we build this together to make sure that these smaller companies can too flourish, right? And so I just want to give them their flowers as well, and thank them for sponsoring, being one of our first sponsors, lead sponsors at this conference. This conference,
for sure. No, and then obviously it comes with the collaboration of the unions, correct, right? The division of the National Suffolk Building Trades leadership, as well as the Long Island Federation of Labor leadership. I think that's part of the outreach that they've been trying to do, not only with subcontractors but also with minority communities, because part of the conference is going to work with deal with workforce development.
Correct, and also, you and I are not folks who you normally see as union members, right? And so this partnership is also talking about, accountability, but also about, the openness, that bridge that we're really trying to build, not only for subs, not only for smaller businesses, but for our communities, right? And so building a workforce that looks like us, and they're open to that. And that's why they're great partners, right? And they understand some of the things that they need to work on, and we understand some of the things that we need to work on. So, I think this is important for our young folks who are coming up, in high school, giving people a second chance, another opportunity other than college, right? maybe some sort of skill set training. Maybe they want to go into plumbing. Maybe they want to go into the laborers. They maybe want to go into carpentry. And this is that gateway. And so we're also inviting our public school partners, our education partners, to come and meet, look at some of these apprenticeship programs, look at some of these things for their students. So I'm really excited about that piece.
Yeah, no, and that's important, right? It's like, obviously, unions provide a career, right? Like we tend to look
a well-paid career.
Excellent paid career.
Yeah.
So that is obviously something that is important to highlight in the conference, right? It's like basically this pipeline that is being created by unions like Local 66, right? Particularly in the Brentwood and Hempstead school districts. And this is something hopefully that can be replicated in other districts, right?
Correct. And so, when I was in the legislature, that was one of the things that we worked with. I worked with Josh at the laborers to talk about how can we bring these into our schools, right? And to give, not to take the way away that we don't want our kids to go to college, but not every kid wants to go to college. College is not for everyone. And so, these are well-paid careers, not jobs. These are career opportunities. You start off as an apprentice and become a journeyman. And you and I both know that some of these guys probably make more money than we're supposed to.
That's right.
And so, and these are opportunities that they are opening for their families, right?
And you know what? And we had the opportunity to work with many of them, right? Over 50 of them that are union members that now are becoming entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. And so, and that was a fantastic, a unique opportunity where, you have local union members who have business aspirations, an aspiration to own their own company in the skill set trait that they've been working on for many years. And to be able to create these companies for them and then work on their process of becoming an MWB or MBE certified company, it's just phenomenal. And so when they have done 15, 10, 12 years on the job, they can then turn around and start a company for their, not only for themselves, but for their families,
right?
Leaving that legacy behind. I think that's key.
No, that is exactly key. And it goes beyond now. They are basically changing the entire, or, at least 2-3 generations from what they are, what they're living, right? It's one of the other elements that was key in that program, I think, is these are very hard to come by, right? Like these union shops that are MWB, and that's one of the needs that was identified, right? And the fact that we were able to develop a couple of those so that now the pool is larger. Right? Exactly.
And the opportunity is available to folks that look like you and I, right? And so normally when you see these RFPs, or even understanding even exactly what an RFP is, and so, we have folks who have successful companies, small successful companies, but don't understand the limit that they can, the stars that they can reach, but they don't know what an RFP is. They don't know how to obtain government contracts. And I think that's one of the things that this conference would do. And that's one of the things that this program did, that we were successfully to help these companies through this MWBE University created to, companies, smaller companies may not understand, and they need that support, that backroom support. And so that MWB University was a key.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that's a key element, right? Like basically transitioning from a journeyman, right, to a businessman or a business person, right? Like because we also certify women. I'm sorry that I'm using non-gender neutral language, but that's obviously something that is key, right? Like going from a journey practitioner to a business person. And I think that's obviously there's a lot of elements behind the scenes that, to run a business that you need. And this program provided that platform.
And it's a key because, I just met with a chef on Friday and talking about his business aspirations. And you can be a great chef, but not a great businessman.
Right.
You need those tools to be able to keep your business successful, right? And
Right.
so, and I think we helped them provide those tools through that university, but also giving them that that opportunity, and that's key, right? And
Right.
some folks didn't see that they had that opportunity. They didn't know that they had that opportunity.
Right. I think part of the conference, right, will also deal with some of the financing opportunities out there for businesses, which is the other element. It's not only the networking, right? Like how do you access the contractors, right? But now it's how do you access capital to grow?
And so, great people. I'm so excited to have people like Marcos Mandelano that's going to be talking about, accessing capital and how to, because you need money for brick and mortar. If you have brick and mortar, if you have a company, you need to purchase machinery, right? And so, if you have a kitchen, you need to purchase. How do you build your HVAC system out? So there's just so much that involves money. You get beyond the network, and then you get stuck. Right. And so, and there is money out there, but how do you access those dollars, right? And when you're accessing, what preparation do you need to have as a company, a business proposal, right? To be able to access those capitals. So I think that's key. And you're going to find that on October 30th from 8 to 2, from 8 to 3.
Where's that happening?
At the Huntington Hilton.
And key to highlight that is the only Union Shop hotel.
Correct.
On the island, so
Correct.
which is
phenomenal.
Right.
But we need to get more.
Right.
But it's a great, and it's going to be a great opportunity for everyone.
Right. So just do one more invitation, Kim, before we go, and then just make sure that everyone knows the details.
Great. So on October 30th, from 8 to 3, KJP Strategies, as long as partnering with the Long Island Federation of Labor and the Nassau Suffolk Building Trades, we are partnering together to build the Long Island Supplier Conference Workforce Development, and it's an opportunity for you to come and exhibit your company, to table and to meet and network, but also the opportunity for you to RSVP, be an attendee for free. All you have to do is RSVP and attend and come and network and meet and learn about how to build your business, learn how to build a business if you're interested, learn how to expand your business, learn how to access capital, and learn how to build a bridge between our partners, our union partners. And again, we want to thank all of our sponsors.
That's right. So the information is going to be right under us, right? So the website, the phone number where they can reach us, as well as the social media handles.
The social media handles, the link for you to RSVP.
So thank you very much, Kim.
Thank you.
We hope to have more highlights about the conference in the upcoming weeks, and we'll make sure to report back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and we'll be here next week for another episode of La Plática Podcast. Thank you very much.